What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Biomed. Folks, today's a rare opportunity. We get to see behind the scenes of reLink Medical. And this is going to be a private tour of their facilities and some of their mission. It's going to be outstanding. Join us as we go and explore reLink. All right, folks, here we are. We're inside the building, and I've already walked through some of the cubicles and whatnot. There's a lot of people that work here. There's more than one facility. Now, I used to think that there was just one reLink Medical, but they have locations all around the United States. And we're gonna meet up with some people and they're gonna kind of guide us through the process. I've seen so much tech here on shelves and whatnot that it absolutely blew me away. So today we're gonna do a walkthrough and we're gonna see how reLink does business. Let's do it.
How you doing? I'm Jeff Tolton from reLink. Let me show you around.
Excellent, let's take a look. So when I first came in the building, I seen just a couple shelves and I thought, all right. And then you realize that it keeps going and it keeps going. It's a much larger operation than I initially thought. And here's the other interesting thing. I thought that you guys had only one location.
Oh, no, we actually have 6 locations. We're in Cleveland, Baltimore, Atlanta, St. Louis, New Orleans, and we'll be announcing our new location in Orlando here next week.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. Well, we're definitely going to look forward to that. So reLink is one of the largest sellers of used medical equipment in the country. They establish contracts of various types with medical providers, with a variety of different companies. So I learned that it's not just hospitals. You guys have other people that you deal with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We provide consignment services, equipment disposition services for hospitals, OEMs, third-party organizations, really anyone who owns a device that needs to get rid of or sell or process a device. We're a great resource in order to help them do that.
That's very cool. Now this video is actually, it's a long time coming because we've had talks where items have a value, a tangible value as an asset, but also as a part. And, us in the United States, just because an item is no longer used, doesn't mean it has no more use
Yeah.
in the world. And that's part of you guys' mission. It's pretty amazing. So you guys don't just have reLink Medical, you also have the Dalton Foundation.
Absolutely. Yeah, so one of the cool things we've been able to connect with is hospitals have access equipment, and there's people in emerging countries that need access to that equipment. So we've been able to connect those pieces together to say if there's a bed or a stretcher, an incubator that needs to make its way to emerging country, how do we get that product from a hospital? How do we get that into a foundation that can actually use that piece of equipment and extend its life? So as part of reLink Medical, as part of the Dalton Family Foundation, we're able to donate that equipment, track that equipment, and be able to supply that equipment to someone who needs it.
One of the things that you guys will notice as we go through everything is that everything has a place and there's a purpose and everything is recorded. They have databases that guide them to what parts have value, what equipment has value, and you're going to see quite a bit of stuff going on. It looks like just stuff everywhere, but you guys have an actual flow to this entire facility.
We do, yeah,
Okay.
no, and I'd love to show you how
Yeah,
when that
let's do it.
equipment comes in, what we're able to do. So as we walk back there, I'll kind of guide you through here. We have really 3 different things that are happening all at the same time. First is what we call a value assessment process. Does the equipment that we just brought in, does it have value or not? If it has value, we're going to push it up through what we call the triage lanes. And in these triage lanes, we're taking a piece of equipment. We're first cleaning that piece of equipment. We're removing any confidential information. We're inspecting for any EPHI, biohazards, or anything of that nature. We then begin to take photos of the equipment and we collect the attributes of that specific thing. So we'll be able to tell you the make, the model, the serial number, the age, and then we assess both a functional condition and a cosmetic condition.
Okay. Well, many companies only have like one person that's their media person, but one of the things that you'll notice is we have many different people that are taking photos, cataloging, cleaning items, and that just tells you the scale. And this is only of this operation right here. You see, and these guys, they are kind of like the jack of all trades because they have to know like a little bit of everything. You got dental, you got
Oh
surgical,
yeah,
you got
absolutely.
physical therapy, you
Yeah.
got laboratory equipment.
There's a little bit of everything. It's always kind of fun to come back here. You geek out about something that's very, very expensive or very valuable, and you have something that's from the '60s. So you never quite know what you're going to get, but it's fun to kind of come back here and geek out a little bit and see all the equipment. And it's fun to kind of see as we were talking that sometimes you may look at something like this and you may see it's no value from a whole piece of equipment, but you may need this component
Yep, just the turret.
or you may need just this power switch and you can't find it. So, giving biomeds, giving the healthcare access to finding a part within a piece of equipment that's no longer valuable. So this equipment will ultimately make its way in a couple different forms. One, it will ultimately become a part that someone will buy, right? So this piece of equipment will be sold to an equipment refurber or equipment parts harvester. They'll take this device, they will take the screens off and the monitors or the buttons off or the power off, and then sell those parts back out into healthcare.
Right.
This piece of equipment may make its way through a refurbishment process and then be resold, patient ready with warranties back into healthcare. This piece of equipment may make its way into a rental program,
Okay.
or it may make its way internationally
That's right.
for both emerging countries, a foundation need, or a patient care need.
So there are many, many items that are worth more as parts, and it's worth more to us as a community as parts than as an entire unit because some devices might have a control panel, a power supply, stuff like that, and they don't make those anymore. But here we've got doctors that still use every single one of these devices. In fact, that's one of the interesting things about this entire program is we have a warehouse full of stuff, but guess what? This stuff hasn't been here that long.
Yeah.
So you guys have timelines for each and every step of the process, which is wild. So there's like a 30-day and at what, 180 days, you
Yeah,
said?
so it takes us, so if you
120
turn
days?
around as we do our triage process, it takes us about 30 days to receive a product and then to get the product onto inventory. Once the product is on inventory, able to be purchased by a medical equipment vendor or refurber of some sort, this product will sit on one of our channels for about 120 days.
120.
At
Okay.
120 days, we will pull this product and we'll move it to one of our location-based auctions. So nothing sits, right?
That's interesting.
We have a lot more coming in and it needs to get out.
Just look at the scale of this. I mean, guys, look at this. This is crazy. And here's one of the best things, and something that I didn't know about. You guys are always asking me, hey, where can I find this? Where can I find that? Not just entire units, maybe parts and maybe accessories, more importantly, accessories. And you're always like, hey, Justin, do you know anybody that has this? Do you know anybody that has that? You guys have a wish list that people can sign up for.
We do,
They can
yeah.
also sign up to be on a mailing list for these auctions because there is value to
Yeah.
even parting out items.
So two different things to think about. You can go to relinkonline.com and you can sign up to get notified of any specific make, model, description of a product. So as we add something to the catalog and hundreds of things get added every single day, you will get an email that that new item has been added. Or you can sign up for a wish list. And when these things get updated or the price changes or new things get added, you will get alerted of that new product. And
Wow.
again, think about this. It's more than buying a whole piece of equipment. If you need a piece of part from that piece of equipment, this is a great place to come get it.
Right. And we've had discussions because I'm also pretty passionate about using parts, known good parts in devices. And it's one of those things that a lot of people say, oh, no, you should only use OEM parts and they got to be new parts. That is incorrect. That's a fallacy because many, many times used parts are more reliable than new parts because you have to remember there are different production dates on parts. There's different manufacturers of parts and OEM parts they generally have a high failure rate. I've had many dead in
Yeah,
the box
absolutely.
failures as soon as you get them. This is just crazy. Look at the scale of this. The amount of people, and they're always carrying boxes, forklifts going back and forth. The amount of stuff that's just happening here is unreal. I mean, you see, we got more people cleaning stuff. Almost every type of medical device that I can think of, I've seen here. And it's just amazing that some people think that some of these items are trash, or I shouldn't say trash. They're just not useful to them because
They
either they're
are
upgrade. As
access to a hospital. I mean, even if you look at something like this, right?
right.
The hospital made a decision that says this is an access device. I've
Mhm.
upgraded my device. I bought new. I did a fleet conversion. This device has years and years left in still life. So either in a parts component, either getting refurb, either going overseas, this product can be in use for another 10 or 15 years.
I completely agree. That's amazing. And sometimes that usage isn't in the United States. So it's interesting. Look at this. Yeah, we got a neuro microscope sitting here. Beautiful condition. And probably one of the most interesting things, people that like to scavenge for stuff and see value in things that people don't see value in, we have parts, lots of parts stuff here. I mean, so you guys recycle the batteries, you guys recycle copper. It's a bigger operation than most people realize.
Yeah, about 30% of what we process from a hospital is deemed no value. So this item is either incomplete, it's aged out, it's FDA recalled. It doesn't have either a domestic or international marketplace. So at time of sort, we identify this item has value or no value. If the item has no value, then we run it through our recycling process. From a hospital's perspective, we're still triaging the device. So we're taking photos of it, we're collecting the attributes, but in the reLink 360 portal, the customer will see a recycle classification. Once that item gets moved to recycling, we then take best steps to remove the batteries, remove the copper, remove the electronic components, so the valued components offset the cost of costed recycling.
Right.
It costs money to recycle a battery properly. It costs money to recycle a CRT properly. So these gaylords are waiting to be harvested down to the component level, so we then can do that secondary sort on the recycling operations.
So you guys don't just do consignment. It's actually a disposal service where
Absolutely.
you guys are removing it because space equals money to a hospital. Like
Yes.
every single square foot that's air conditioned, that's in a patient care environment, it costs money for them to have it.
Yes.
So they just want to get rid of stuff. They don't care. And they don't even care if it's got value or not. They just want it gone.
But think about it, everything that you see here wasn't in a hospital less than 120 days ago.
That's
So this is
amazing.
150,000 square feet. We have almost a 500,000 square feet under roof. So we have a 500,000 square feet of medical equipment that was in a hospital less than 120 days ago.
That's so cool. So guys, if you're looking for parts, accessories, or specific items, I've seen that they got surgical spine tables, like Jackson tables here and stuff. I've had people just last week asking me for Jackson tables. And, also I see computers. There's, so with any of these medical devices with the PHI, you guys supply documentation showing that it's been disposed of correctly and stuff, right?
We do, yes, yeah.
Okay.
If EPHI comes up during the triage process, we immediately move that item to a non-conforming process.
Okay.
Our biomeds will come in and inspect for EPHI. If we can remove it through software, remove it through software. If we have to destroy the hard drive, we'll destroy the hard drive. That process gets a certificate of removal or a certificate of destruction that gets uploaded in the portal, and the customer then can look at the device level, see that this device had EPHI, and here's my EPHI removal certificate.
That's so cool. And again, it's another service that you provide. And so a lot of people think that used medical equipment, they just buy and sell stuff and flip it. No, it's a service to not only free up real estate, but also to recoup some of those costs and give back, because recycling, a lot of people make money off of recycling. So it's not just the person that provides the initial raw materials.
Yep.
People that recycle that, they renew it in manufacturing to new stuff. It's just a little bit of everything, guys. Just walking around, it's amazing. So cool. And what's even crazier is there is an entire building next door of more stuff, of tables, because you notice that there's no hospital beds here. This is very organized. Over there, we have physical therapy equipment. There are surgical tables. There's infant incubators and radiant warmers, just all sorts of stuff, guys. And the scale of operations here, this is only one of their facilities. I had no idea that reLink did all this stuff. And, while we're showing the stuff down here, look at all these parts. Guys, there's value everywhere. And you guys know my channel. I'm absolute hardcore at finding value in things that other people don't find value in. And just the amount of stuff I see here is shocking. But at the same time, I mean, it's good that we can put it to use. So look forward to links in the video description down below, where if you're looking for something particular, we can go ahead and sign you up to be on that notification list, because this stuff is constant. It's evolving and this isn't static. So while they only have this stuff here today, who knows what's going to come in this afternoon or tomorrow. That's how crazy this is. Well, thank you very much for giving us this
Yeah,
tour,
thank you
man.
for your time. Appreciate you
This is
coming over.
amazing.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely
Thank you.
amazing. And guys, like I said, sign up for reLink's mailers because that way there you can stay in the know. They have auctions for items that have been in inventory for too long. I've seen those auctions all the time and they sell it by the lot. Over here, they have staging areas for like semi trucks. So they actually sell stuff by the semi truck, which is so cool because it's creating a whole other industry in our industry. And it's allowing a lot of people like me, you know, smaller business owners to start making a profit in a different way. So they're acting as the middleman between the hospitals, dealing with a lot of the logistics and a lot of the politics. So if you repair items, look at all the items here that are on their website. You can look them up, way more inexpensive than what I was expecting. I was expecting like hundreds of dollars. Nope, believe it or not, many of these items are less than $100 for sale. Anyway, that's reLink. Thanks for watching, guys.